Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to the program The Blessings of Islam. Today we'll discuss the power of fasting or Saum as it helps you purify your soul. If we talk about the outcome of fasting, so that is taqwa. As we read in the Holy Quran, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you may acquire taqwa. So taqwa is all about protecting yourself from all those actions that displease Allah Almighty. So when you avoid all those actions that are sins and are against the pleasure of Allah Almighty, so you develop a sense of connection with Allah Almighty. You get close to Allah Almighty. You are establishing your love for Allah Almighty. So it helps you empower your soul, and you become harmless for others at that time, because when you are acting upon the commandments of Allah Almighty, the teachings of Islam, you are avoiding any action that is against the pleasure of Allah Almighty. So it means that you are not doing harm to anyone, and you are remembering Allah Almighty. And this remembrance of Allah Almighty is one of the signs of a believer. We read in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, مَثَلُ الَّذِي يَذْكُرُ رَبَّهُ وَالَّذِي لَا يَذْكُرُ رَبَّهُ مَثَلُ الْحَيِّ وَالْمَيِّتِ. It means that the one who remembers Allah and the one who does not remember Allah, the difference between both these two people is like life and death, like the difference between life and death. It means that the one who remembers Allah, his Lord, so he is alive, and one who does not remember Allah, he is dead. No matter he is alive in the eyes of people, but if he is not mindful of Allah Almighty, he is not God conscious, so he is just like a dead person, because he does not care about remembering his Lord. So what does fasting do? Fasting helps you connect to Allah Almighty, and then it ultimately impacts all the aspects of your personality. We read in the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Man sama Ramadana imanan wa ihtisaban ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min zambi. That one who fasts in the month of Ramadan with faith and with accountability, so all his sins are forgiven. Now this is the spirit of fasting, that when you are fasting, so you must remember the things that are not allowed in fasting, and you must remember all those things that you are not supposed to do in the state of fasting. You are not supposed to misuse your language, like you are not supposed to use any foul language. You are not supposed to do harm to anyone, although all these things are not allowed in the state other than fasting also. But fasting reminds you about all these teachings and all these aspects of Islam. And we read in Al-Hadith Al-Qudsi that Allah Almighty says, this fasting is for me and I will reward it. Right? Now what we understand in this hadith is that when you are fasting, so the reward is gonna be very special from Allah Almighty, because He says that I will reward it. It means that there will be a sort of some special or unparalleled reward from Allah Almighty. So first of all, you are getting close to Allah Almighty, and you are developing your love, and your love for Allah Almighty is increasing, right? And you will be having a big reward, a great reward in the hereafter. So it means that this act of fasting, this Saum, is giving you benefits in this world as well as in the hereafter. It is having a good effect on your health, on your emotions, on your other aspects of personality, and with that we will also be having a reward in akhirah, and that reward is going to be very special, as we read in this hadith Qudsi, right? That reward is going to be very special. So what we find is that if we just reflect on this act of worship that is called fasting, it is empowering your soul. And we know that we are a combination of body and the soul. So both have their own requirements. So when you are fasting, the requirements of the body and the requirements of the soul both are fulfilled, and you become a better person. You have a desirable Muslim personality, and you are fulfilling the requirements of the aspects of human personality. What should be a good Muslim look like? So in the state of fasting, you are giving this message to the whole world that I act upon the commandments of Allah Almighty, and I am becoming a person that is good for everyone because you are connecting to your Lord. So this state of fasting and this act of worship, helps you become a better person in all the aspects, whether the things are related to this world or the things are related to the hereafter.